The court has just handed down its ruling in the California Proposition 8 case. Here it is. Let's take a look at it. Held. Petitioners did not have standing to appeal the district court's order. Chief Justice John Roberts delivers the opinion of the court in which Scalia, Ginsburg, Breyer, and Kagan joined. Very unusual lineup there, which of course we're going to get into in just a moment. But what that means, and I can tell you what this means right now, if they're upholding the decision, if the decision of the district court stands, because the court has no jurisdiction in this case, that means that Proposition 8 is struck down. The California Supreme Court ruling will remain the law, and same-sex marriages in the state of California, and people are going to argue about this. You will definitely hear back and forth procedurally about how this happens, but it is most likely that same-sex marriage in the state of California will resume. And then, of course, with the decision that we got just a few moments ago in the Defense of Marriage Act case, those marriages in California, the 12 other states, and the District of Columbia will be recognized by the federal government. So a big victory for supporters of same-sex marriage. The court is not saying that same-sex marriage is required. The court is not saying other states have to do that. But if you're going to, if voters and the state constitution requires same-sex marriage, then the federal government is going to have to acknowledge it.
Is this essentially leaving it up to states to decide on same-sex marriage?
Yes, it is. And Charlie, that is one thing I think that you've seen from this court and what we were talking about earlier with the court not wanting to get too far in front of social issues. The court today is not saying that states have to allow same-sex marriage. So that is not the ruling. What they've said today is that the federal government, if a state wants to allow it, has to recognize it. And what they're saying is that if a state like California and the California Constitution says that it has to be allowed, then it's allowed, at least today, because they don't have standing to review Proposition 8. So what this means is states that are continuing to look at this issue will continue to look at it. We've seen a trend toward greater societal acceptance of same-sex marriage. Today, the court is putting up no yellow lights, no stop signs on the road to that path with these decisions. And I can promise you, based on what we're hearing now and from our sources on this issue, supporters of same-sex marriage will say that this actually will encourage efforts to allow same-sex marriage throughout the country.